So I began taking French in 4th grade as part of a French as a second language course, I guess, in my grade school, which carried all the way into grade 12. Kind of gearing into sort of junior high, I had friends who actually transitioned from an immersion school, and I began to see their ability to speak French because they could communicate with one another, and I thought that was just really interesting and kind of remarkable, and it was so fluid, and I was inspired by that. So that was something that really stood out to me, is realizing here's a whole language that I'm getting, partially developed through the classroom, but I'm curious to develop it more. I remember seeing a poster on the classroom wall about it, and that you could either go to France for, I think, a month in the summer or for 3 months. And so I said, Mom, there's this opportunity to do an exchange in France, and I'm really keen on it. I'd really like to, explore this. I left and I moved for 3 months to Rouen in France, so Normandy area. And during those 3 months, I lived with this French family, the Potiers. I attended French Catholic school, and I tried my darndest to start to belong. And then I think the other thing that was really transformational was this acknowledgement that, my Canadian self, Canadian Sally, maybe didn't quite function in France the same way. And I had to actually almost reinvent myself a little bit. And it was a really wonderful thing to start to see how the language and the culture allowed the birth of sort of French Sally to happen. And it felt very authentic. And it felt like there was a part of myself, like a puzzle piece had been discovered that I didn't even know was there, but was now becoming part of my identity. To have those authentic experiences of connecting with French classmates or traveling the countryside and seeing a beautiful landscape, connecting to the French culture and the Canadian culture actually as well, and in terms of seeing some of Canada's influence in France from a wartime perspective while I was in Normandy. You start to see all of these layers of yourself becoming. And they're not becoming through English, they're becoming through French. But there was also such an incredible amount of self-efficacy built through learning a new language. And it was very inspiring when I started to see some of that culture and language reflected back in me. There are some things from my time in France that have stuck with me and my family, such as I now call my mom, mama. We say coucou, we do our, the 3 cheek kisses. So there's some really intimate ways that French has changed my sense of self and my family. I didn't just come home as, I'm a Canadian person and I can actually, speak French now. It was like, I'm bringing French Sally or France Sally back home with me. And little did I know that there would be such incredible longevity with that experience, because it played such an integral role in my desire to become a French teacher. And I hope that with those experiences under my belt, I can create a classroom that invites different ways of thinking about language. To be able to speak to my French teachers in French in that level of fluency was like, I did this. This language is a part of me now. That was really, really special.